Hey guys, my name is Jeremy. So we're going to talk about our pre-trip checks. I do haul trailers, I do haul fifth wheels, so I do my check a little bit different than some people, but basically everybody's checks are pretty much the same.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Kelly.
Hey, I'm Justin. My name's Jackson.
And this is Jonathan.
So the first thing I do when I come out in the morning before I'm getting ready to run a load or haul a trailer or anything is I pop the hood and I check the oil level first before starting it. Once I've checked the oil level, I then go and I immediately start the truck and I begin the rest of my check, and then when I'm done with my check, I turn the engine off and I go back and I recheck the oil. That way I make sure that the oil level is right. So after I've checked the oil, I'll go ahead and check all the rest of the fluids underneath in the hood, check your coolant, make sure you have no leaks underneath, just make sure everything is at the right level. Make sure your belts are good, no leaks from hoses, just general things that you can see easily under the hood. Next, I'll check my tire pressures. I do have the tire pressure monitor in the truck, and it actually works very, very well. I really like that. But doing a visual inspection of your tires is really good too. So, when you look at your tires, you want to look at your tread. You want to make sure that it is wearing evenly from here, from the outside all the way to the inside. You want even wear all the way across. If your tires are getting really dark on the outsides and they're wearing more on the outsides, your tires are not inflated high enough. If you're getting excessive wear in the center, you're running too much air pressure in your tires and you need to lower it. I run my front tires at 80 psi cold. That's what the sticker calls for, and that's where I like them. So I run the front at 80 cold. So when the truck warms up, they run about 84, 85, 86. You want to look in the tire tread for nails, for screws, for glass, for any metal objects. You want to make sure that if you have anything in your tire, you need to get that taken care of right away. So now we've got the rear dually tires. On my truck I have a dually, so there's two on each side. So the sticker on the back calls for 65 psi per tire cold. I will leave them at 65 psi cold all the way up to the point where I'm towing more than 10,000 pounds. Once I go over 10,000 pounds, I'll put my rear tires at 80 psi and I will run them right at 80 psi, and I'll run that all the way up to 14, 15 tons. Depending on how much tongue weight I have, and that does vary by trailer and by load or by fifth wheel, I can run these up to 100, and that really depends on the tongue weight and what I choose to run my tires at. But then again, same thing. Outside of the tires wearing, you don't have enough air in them. Inside is wearing, you got too much in them. Look for nails, all of that stuff. So I do the front, I do the rear, I go all the way around the truck and I do that. Alright guys, so lights. Lights are very important. If you're towing or hauling and you have, sorry, we have snow falling. If you have any lights out while you're towing, you can get pulled over very easily for that. It's not worth it. Just go ahead and run around and check your lights. So on mine, check the front lights, the fog lights, you check all of your clearance lights, you check your marker lights on the side, you check your rear lights, and you can check all of those by yourself if you have a reflective surface to check it off of. If you don't, you can just turn on your lights and walk around, and you can hit your flashers and go all the way around, and all of the bulbs will have been lit, so you can check them that way. For checking your trailer lights, if your trailer is plugged in, you can go around and check all your trailer lights as well. If your trailer lights are not working, they make little tools. They sell them at Walmart and almost any parts house. You can get it. You can plug it into the back of your truck, and it lights up each light individually if there's good power there. If any of the lights are red, then you've got a problem with your truck side of the wiring. If all of them are green, you have a problem with your wiring on the trailer, and that can help you eliminate half of the work. So one of the most important things when you are driving your truck with a trailer or with an RV, fifth wheel, travel trailer, towing a gooseneck, What matters the most is the route you choose. There are a lot of routes if you're in the city where you're not allowed to be over a certain weight for bridges, for side roads, and yes, if they do catch you, it's a pretty hefty fine. But you have to plan your route accordingly. You have to plan your route for the curves. You have to plan your route for the mountains up and down. You have to plan your route for the bridges and the tunnels. Most importantly, the bridges and the tunnels. You have to be careful. You have to make sure you're not overweight. A lot of the fifth wheels are right at 13.1, 13.2. If you do the suspension upgrade to the 8K axles and the more ride and all of that, you can be at 13.4, 13.5. And so that does eliminate some routes for you. You just have to be careful. You have to plan your route. Yes, there are apps for that, but you need to do the research yourself, because ultimately, as you're driving under the bridge or into the tunnel, you're the one that's going to crash or not. That brings up another point, is you need to actually measure your rig. And don't forget about the AC units and your antennas and everything else on top of your RV. You need to actually physically measure it yourself. Don't take somebody else's word for it, because they're not going to pay for it when you go under a bridge and scrape those off the top. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please subscribe, like, make a comment, ask me anything you want about the truck. Thanks for watching. We're on to the next adventure.